I love the layers of wealth dynamics. I love the way that every story has its own story buried within. And just as the saying says that the game is not the game, the story is also not the story. There are stories within stories within stories. And isn't that just life too? It's fascinating how each and every one of us relates to different people, to different stories, to different fairy tales. Which brings me on to the stories and the myths buried within each of the profiles. The daring adventure myth of the creator, wonderfully characterized by Peter Pan. The redemption myth of the star, characterized by Simba in The Lion King. The dreamland myth of the supporter and our dear friend Alice in Wonderland, dazed and confused about finding the right path. The lover's myth that every deal maker can relate to, demonstrated by the Little Mermaid. Snow White, our trader in the Great Mother myth. Rapunzel, the accumulator, in her watchtower patiently waiting. The Watchtower myth. The lordly prince in Beauty and the Beast, playing out the masked man myth. And the castaway myth of Wally the mechanic. So let's explore one of these myths just one layer deeper. See, Alice is always seeking adventure in the company of others. Alice's story begins with illumination, that there's something more out there. She sees the white rabbit popping up all over the place and gets curious about life outside of her current paradigm. Trying to follow and talk to the white rabbit, she meets some opposition, as the rabbit is too busy to talk to her. So, off goes Alice. During the course of her journey, as with many supporters, she loses her own identity. She's carefree and quick to take advice, and she gets varied results. She discusses her option with colleagues, the caterpillar, the Cheshire cat, and in consolidating she gets even more confused. She comes to the Mad Hatter's tea party, and during her non-birthday tea, she gets disconnected with the whole process. So off she wanders to the Queen of Hearts croquet game, where she finds some prosperity in advising the Queen. Eventually, though, she finds a cause that she can support, and it's in doing so that she finds clarity. Only when she looks inside, looking for precision in court, does she find her true self. See, how many supporters are out there just as confused as Alice? The challenge for the supporter, then, is to understand that this is just a part of the natural cycle of their journey. Just as with each of the other profiles, when they identify their journey, it becomes clear that the stuff that they're experiencing is just a part of their story too. So understanding the stories behind the stories, and then applying wealth dynamics further, allows us to easily experience flow.